Welcome, children, to Unit 4, Section C When the Fish Laughed, Part 2. A big, warm kitchen in a farmer's home. It is afternoon. The farmer's young and comely daughter is serving lunch to her father, who is sitting on a low flat stool with a little table in front of him.
Shivani, today while returning home from town, I met a strange young man on the way.
Why do you call him strange, father?
He would ever so often speak in a manner that I could not make head or tail of. Like when I invited him home, he asked me if the beams of a house were strong enough. Now, wouldn't you call that strange?
Oh, father, he seems to me a very wise man. He only wanted to know if he had enough food to feed him. You should have told him that the beams of our house are strong enough. Where did you leave him? I would very much like to meet him.
I left him standing near the local inn.
Shivani calls the servant and gives him a bowl of porridge, 12 chapatis, and a jar full of milk.
Go and find the young man my father met. Give him these and tell him this. The moon is full. There are 12 months in a year, and the sea is full of water. Also tell him that he is invited to dine at our house this evening.
I will do as you say, mistress.
The servant leaves. On the way outside, he meets his son, who is hungry. So he gives him some porridge, 2 chapatis, and half the milk from the jug. He returns after a while.
Mistress, I did as you said, and the man thanked you and accepted your invitation. He also told me to tell you this. The moon is new, there are 10 months, and the sea is not full at all.
Wicked servant, you stole from the food that was meant for someone else, and you shall be punished for this. Go away from here.
The servant leaves. It is evening. Amir is at Bhaskar's house. Shivani is serving dinner to Amir and her father. Amir tells them about his father's predicament and his search for the person who could solve the mystery. He feels that Shivani might be that person and asks for her advice.
It is clear why the fish laughed. There must have been a man inside the queen's palace at that time.
Impossible. He would have been caught immediately and put to death for such an offense.
Not if he was dressed like a woman.
Of course, I must rush home and give this news to my father.
The king's palace grounds. A feast is going on. The queen is present with her maids. The king has organized this feast on the advice of the vazir's son to get hold of the man disguised as one of the queen's maids. A large, deep pit has been freshly dug in the ground.
Now we have a game for Her Majesty's maids. His Majesty will reward 1,000 mohurs to the lady who can jump over this pit.
Impossible. Who can jump over the pit?
One by one, the maids try to jump over the pit but fall into it instead. Finally, one maid does manage to fly right across to the other side of the pit.
God, get hold of that person and remove the veil. That is a man.
The person tries to escape but is captured by 2 guards. When the veil is removed, the person is revealed to be a man.
This, my dear, is the reason why the fish laughed. A male was already in your palace. It is the wisdom of the Wazir and his son that has helped us catch the culprit.
Oh, that's so terrible.
The Wazir and his son have prevented the crime this man intended to do in disguise. Your Majesty, such wisdom must be rewarded.
The Wazir and his son were indeed rewarded with lands, gold, and jewels. The Wazir retired to a palace built near a lake, where he lived happily with his son and his wise wife Shivani. So children, I hope you have understood. Thank you and God bless.